While daydreaming about future backpacking trips, I had an epiphany. Maybe I could have an even better time out there if I lighten my pack. That's when I decided to try out my very first trekking pole tent, Gossamer Gear's The One. And it was a match made in ultralight heaven. Weighing in at just 18 ounces, The One sets up in minutes using just trekking poles and a handful of stakes. And I gotta say, The One didn't just lighten my pack, it simplified my camp setup so that I had more time to enjoy the natural beauty all around me and allow me to spend more time with my number one favorite piece of gear, my bidet. That's right. You know, Gossamer Gear designs products for people on the move, rooted in a legacy of simplification. Their philosophy is that taking less allows you to do more. And if you want to test out this philosophy yourself, head to gossamergear.com, use code DearGearAbby at checkout, and save $20 off your order of $100 or more. Happy holidays, my outdoorsy friends. It's your favorite time of the week. Time to head to the official gear garage of DearGearAbby. That is Garage Grown Gear. That's right, our friends at GGG are here to make sure all of you can get the newest outdoor stuff that you need for your next adventure. What kind of stuff? I'm going to tell you every single week. Here are some examples. All right, whoa, is that Norda's music? Oh, that's right. Norda Trail Running has arrived on Garage Grown Gear. Oh yeah, get your feet ready for this. Big action. All right, if you're done running in your Nordas, that might take you a couple years to really run through them. You're going to take a seat on Gossamer Gear's little sit pad. Aw, Gossamer Gear is showing up in the GGG ad, a little cross-pollination. Oh, and Colin wrote this ad copy, which says, "The streams have been crossed." Finally, bringing it back to a better place, looking for some badass tent stakes? Did you even know that badass tent stakes exist? I did. Check out the Pioneer Torque Stake and the Pioneer Titanium Stake from Tarragon Gear. Whatever you're looking for, Garage Grown Gear and DearGearAbby are the perfect outdoor combo, so get shopping by heading over to garagegrowngear.com right now.
You got questions going out of your mind. Someone with answers now that's hard to find. Like the what and the why and the how stuff works, or just where to go to avoid all the jerks. She's DearAbby, DearAbby, advice that doesn't suck. DearAbby.
Hello there, my outdoorsy friends, and welcome to DearAbby, where we tackle the controversial, weird, obscure, and taboo topics that other outdoor podcasts refuse to touch. I'm outdoor educator and writer Shantae Salabert, and I'm here to answer your burning questions about our relationships with outdoor people, products, places, and pastimes. And I want them all, because remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice. All right, here's how it works. My old timers know this. My old timers, is that what we're calling you? We need a name for the DearAbby army. But for now, we'll just call you old timers, apparently. As you know, you're going to send questions into DearGearAbby@gmail.com, and I'll answer a few each week on the show. And as always, joining me today is my partner in gear, the producer of DearAbby, and a guy who conveniently forgot his credit card when I had breakfast with him a few weeks ago at the running event, Colin True.
Okay, it's a special holiday edition of DearAbby. This is going up on Christmas Day.
That's
number
right.
one. Number two, I think DearAbby Army just works.
Does it? It sounds aggressive.
It does, but I've said if you read some of our listeners, we got some aggressive listeners.
We
So
do.
the DearAbby
It's
Army,
true.
it just kind of flows.
Those are your
And,
favorite
yeah.
listeners, are the aggressive ones.
What DearAbby neglected to say is I didn't have my card because I left it at the restaurant where I had bought DearAbby dinner the night before. So-
That's true. That's fine. He did pay for the entire Rock Fight crew. That is my side
Except for
gig.
that one breakfast which you bought me.
That's true. I'll never let you live it down. You did enjoy it, though. It was a good breakfast.
That was a great breakfast, which I had low expectations considering it was in a hotel.
I was going to say, considering what? Because I was there. What the hell,
No,
Colin?
the company was top notch, but the food was actually really quite good because there was a lot of apparently breakfast places in hotels like that people go to who aren't staying at the hotel.
Yeah,
It's like
there
in
are.
San Antonio.
I didn't know.
So.
We were in San Antonio for the running event. For those of you who aren't familiar, now by the time this airs, this was going to be a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah.
San Antonio, it's an outdoor trade show for running nerds. Real good time. We saw a lot of shoes. Turns out,
Lots of shoes.
just walls and walls and walls of shoes.
We're going to talk about shoes a lot, I think, in this episode.
I think probably yes. But yeah, it was a good time. I loved it, and we got to hang, which is always a delight. Even though we live very close to each other in theory, we never hang out. So one day.
That's true.
One day we'll take this into 3D.
It's going to happen.
Until that day comes, I'm going to do a little housekeeping on this episode. I feel like we've now that we're getting different kinds of emails and different things going on, we get a little upfront housekeeping. So listeners, my dearests, DearGearAbby Army, send in some alternate names for me if you could at DearGearAbby@gmail.com. I'd like to know what you think you should be called. But this episode is going to be a little different, not just because we're coming up with weird names for all of you, but because instead of answering listener questions, we're going to answer each other's questions. That's right. Burning questions coming from Colin and Shantae. We are also going to take a 2-week break after this episode to contemplate our life decisions and whatnot. So take this time, drum up some new questions, email them, send them via carrier pigeon, however you'd like. But I am ready to talk about poop and anything else in the new year.
Would you prefer a carrier pigeon or a raven?
Oh, I love a raven. I love a
Yeah.
corvid. Listen, they want to be they want to know us. They want
do.
to be
Smart
involved.
animals.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
They may
my
be
spirit
smarter than
animal.
us. Is it?
Yeah, I have like 3 raven or crow tattoos. It's my
I
favorite
didn't know
animal.
that. Do you know the
Yeah.
difference between a raven and a crow?
Isn't it the
Pop
size
quiz.
of the bird? So the ravens are bigger or something like that?
It's a little bit of the size, but it's also their tails, how their tails are.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You gotta learn this if you're an
I'm a
enthusiast.
fan of all things corvid, so there you go.
I love that. All Things Corvid sounds like an NPR show. Welcome to All Things Corvid.
So
I don't
the
have a good
DearAbby
NPR
spinoff.
voice. It's a spinoff, yeah. We're working on a lot of new things for 2026.
All things corvid. We'll launch that in June.
All right. I'm so excited, Colin, for we're doing something a little different today. You and I get
Yeah.
to ask each other questions. We're going to try to make them burning outdoor questions just to keep on theme. Okay?
No antibiotics for these questions. They're
Yeah,
just
that's
burning.
right. Just burning. We're just letting them,
These
letting them
questions
go
just
raw.
burning when they pee, you know?
That's like a little bit of chafe with each question, just blossoming on your tender bits. Yeah, listen, we have to keep it on brand here, okay? So, Colin, I will let you go first. What do you have?
All right, I am actually curious because now this is the 18th episode we've recorded. What's
it
the
feels
best?
like 700.
It feels like
But
so
in a good
many
way.
more. Please send
Sorry.
help. What do you think's the best email you've received so far?
Ooh, okay. There have been a lot of good ones. I mean, I think, when I'm thinking about top, we have to go back to the sharding question. That was just the most elegantly written email about
Yes.
sharding I've ever read in my life.
Yes.
I
A
also
female listener who
It was a
both
good one.
hikes and poops. Wasn't that
I
there?
do
There
the
has
same.
tummy
I mean,
issues.
There's something in there for everyone. I loved that one. I loved the question about getting busy in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah. I love, those were great. But I think here's an interesting thing. I have an email that we received recently after we talked about elk etiquette. I think that was back in November. That was not actually a question, but it is an email, so this counts. But it was a deep dive into the sensual lives of elk, which might also be an NPR show. I don't know. Maybe it's like a short format, like a mini series kind of situation.
No, I think it's more of a soap. It's an afternoon daily soap opera.
Can you
The
do
Sensual Lives of Elk. This afternoon on ABC.
Beautiful. Is that ABC?
After General Hospital.
Yes. And One Life to Live. I learned that all of those soaps are still on the air, by the way.
They are all still
I had
on the
no
air.
idea.
Yeah.
I feel like my mom was watching those
And
when I was
Anthony
a kid.
Geary, who played Luke on General Hospital, he just died.
Oh, Luke and Laura
I remember
were a
coming
big
home
deal.
from school and watching Luke and Laura's wedding with my mom. Like it was just like the biggest, like one of the most watched things on television
It was a
ever.
big deal,
It was like
yeah.
83 or something like that.
I was too little to remember
Ugh.
that. I like to remind you. But I do remember watching Knots Landing every Thursday with my
Okay.
mom. That was a big
Yeah.
one. That was a little more like sexy, I think. It was like a precursor
Ooh.
to the modern, maybe Desperate Housewives and stuff. I mean, Nicolette Sheridan was in that too.
Oh, all right.
But no. But here, the sensual lives of elk. This email thrilled me. So this came from a regular listener, Troy, who ported over here from The Rock Fight, which for any of you listeners who have just dropped in randomly into episode 18, Colin is the co-creator, co-host of The Rock Fight. I show up on there every once in a while. That's where DearGearAbby spun off from. But anyway, regular listener Troy is a biologist who used to work with elk, among other things. Troy has written us before about other things. And I would love to read the whole email, but that would be an entire podcast because Troy is a very good good writer, very prolific, as it turns out. But I'm just going to read a few excerpts. I'm going to try to set the stage for you here on why I love this email so much.
So we're not doing a greatest hits. We're not doing the clip episode yet. We're just actually going to go with a fresh email that otherwise we would not have another opportunity to read otherwise.
I know.
Basically.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah. We had to carve out space for this. This is such a good one. So, okay. Troy writes, elk are fascinating. If you want to talk about sex, and he put this in bold, and man, do y'all ever... He's not wrong.
Okay, well, hold on. Not to, what's more fun to talk about?
I mean, poop.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there you go. Then what after that? There's like a big gap, and then you get to the next things that are fun to talk about.
I guess running shoes is probably
next. Maybe, movies after that. I don't know.
Oh, Vertical Limit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we did promise the people Vertical Limit.
Did.
But we'll see.
I was going to rewatch it last night, but I
know.
didn't.
I didn't either.
I didn't see it in the outline, so I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to rewatch it.
You don't. But anyway, he says, if you want to talk about sex, and man, do y'all ever, elk are a good model. Everyone's got an angle here. A bull's goal is to maximize the quantity of matings. Okay.
Dang.
While cows, those are the ladies, are seeking to mate with one high-quality individual, same, to produce a high-quality offspring. Not the same. People, well, they want to get in the middle of it all.
I don't think he means bestiality there.
No, I don't think so either. I think
to.
we need to, they're just curious.
Yeah.
So he goes out, he describes the process, which includes the dude elk sniffing the lady elk's bits to determine which of them are ready to roll. So
is this consensual?
Apparently within the elk community, this is like a special, they're just all milling about, I guess, and they're just like sniffing is happening. And he says once when he was on the job, and this is a quote, I once heard a scandalized young woman gasp, he's smelling her bunghole, which makes me really glad that this is not how most humans mate. Like that part is mine, the really glad part. I wouldn't want to, it's like dogs. I don't want to sniff someone's butt.
I've had a few drunken nights at bars where people were saying interesting things. I don't know if I've heard that specifically, but I can't.
Smelling her bunghole.
I can't say that it's never been said among a human population.
I don't know. But apparently once these elk are ready for carnal pleasures, the sniffing has commenced. It's kind of aggressively businesslike is how Troy sort of described it in his email. And he says, I once described elk mating as a slam bam thank you ma'am affair to a group of high school kids. I received a number of letters from those kids thanking me for, quote, talking to them like adults. If those kids listen to this podcast, they would know that, yes,
I know.
Troy
Send them a
was
link, Troy.
to them like adults. Anyway, I think my favorite part of the letter, though, was his description of the pregame, which I'm just going to read to you. Okay.
This is elk foreplay is what we're doing right now?
This is great. Y'all are learning so much about elk and their harems. Okay. This is a quote. To impress discerning cows, bulls spend most of the year growing big, gorgeous antlers and putting on fat. Once the rut starts, bull elk stop eating and barely drink or sleep for weeks. They grow irrationally horny. Okay, irrationally horny is another phrase I've never used.
This is another band name right there.
What kind of band? Is it a ska band? It's a ska band.
Because it could be a ska band because they're
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
you're right. I don't like to default to ska because I like ska so much.
Do.
But I try not to for this game. But it's like in this instance, irrationally horny is definitely a ska band.
It has to be. It's not like a retro soul band. It is a ska band. And it's probably down in San Diego, for being honest. Like, that's the birthplace.
Hey, the Southern California punk and ska scene is real.
It's pretty hot. But yeah, so apparently they grow irrationally horny and aggressive, fighting with other bulls, occasionally to the death, and charging anything that gets too close. They urinate all over themselves and wallow in a mix of mud and urine. The fighting, chasing, mating opportunities, and herding cows 24 hours a day cause bulls to rapidly lose weight. By the end of the rut, a successful bull is exhausted, often injured, dehydrated, and sporting numerous non-lethal punctures. Basically, a bull elk is nearly killing himself each year in order to breed. Having a harem can be a rough gig, Colin. That was my favorite, just the call out for you.
But if you go back and look at history, this is also how John Holmes operated in the 70s. He dehydrated himself, got irrationally horny. They shot for like 3 days, and then that was it. Then he recharged.
Do you think that's why the salmon are so successful at going upstream? Is they've gotten irrationally horny?
They are fucking motivated, man.
We just gotta get there, man.
I mean, they're hanging out by dams for decades, waiting for the dams to come down.
That's true. I would be irrational too at that point. That's fair. Tarantulas, I don't think ever. I think tarantulas are probably like, I feel like they have a fairly low sex drive if we're just ranking animal and insect.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as like as scary as big spiders are, like they're pretty like timid animals. They kind of like hide. They don't want to be found. They don't want to be seen. I think they probably have to bump into each other in order to mate. They're not out there like, at the tarantula bar, like, just like tying one on and looking for a willing partner, But I think you're right. This is definitely the best email, and I'm glad we got a chance to read it because otherwise this wasn't really a typical email we would read on the show. And we've had so many good questions, and I don't want anybody to think that they should send emails like this instead of questions. Please send us your questions.
They can.
DearGearAbby at gmail.com.
Entertain me. Teach me something. I love that we learned a little something about this.
For sure. Go nuts. Send this in and then add a question as well. But this is pretty special given all the animal sex topics we've been able to cover in the first few episodes of DearGearAbby here.
It's truly my pleasure.
I think it's the Elk's pleasure.
Oh man. Okay, good one there. That was a real good one. I think it was all of our pleasures. Maybe the listeners as well, or maybe they've already tuned out. It's hard to say. I think we started strong though. I feel like that's a good way to start. So I am gonna say it is my turn now to ask the question. Okay. You and I used to host a weekly episode of The Rock Fight where we basically riffed on outdoor news. And of course, we probably talked way too much about Michelino Sinceri on this podcast. And I know you really miss looking at the news every week, Colin, about the outdoors, searching for something to talk about that week.
Oh, my God. No, I don't.
Really? I didn't know that. You definitely didn't tell me multiple times. But I'd say looking back at 2025, which we are rounding the corner on right now, what was your favorite outdoor related news story? And I'm going to let you interpret favorite and outdoor however you want.
Yeah, you sent me this. It's a little tough. I think a lot of what we talk about in the Rock Fight is kind of inside baseball stuff. To your
Boring.
point, yeah, right, yeah, for the outdoor industry, which some DearGearAbby listeners may not find that interesting.
True.
Although we do have a lot of kind of what we call prosumers, people who aren't really in the industry and are just interested in the stuff in the brand. So maybe they will find some of this interesting. I mean, but the big stories this year, the Trump tariffs and the impact of the industry, that's probably what we talked about the most. Trail running led the product conversation. I'm sure you and I are going to talk some more shoes. And as we sit here today, looking back on this year, we got another wave of casual versus core debating, which happens like clockwork every 18 months or so, where the hardcore people think the industry exists to serve them. And then, all the numbers show that actually the casual consumer is growing rapidly in the outdoor space. And then, of course, outside of the making stuff part of the outdoors, we had at least, and you know this because this is when we were doing those episodes, 3 or 4 instances of morons trying to pet a bison.
Always my favorite news.
Yeah, to the point where I do think we are eventually going to make merch with somebody riding a bison because it's just seems to be a trend that is not going to go away anytime soon.
Or maybe the bison is riding the person. Maybe that's the person is
I like that.
They've been slightly head-butted and so now they're riding the top of the bison's head because they got head-butted. Yeah, I feel like that's probably more appropriate.
Maybe that, or maybe it's just kind of like a Far Side style cartoon where it's the bison, creeping up to the people going, "You think you'll let me ride it?" Or something.
I love that idea. Are you listening, Gary Larson?
I do think the most fascinating part of the outdoor world is the ability for very smart people to radically misunderstand how the industry contributes to our economy while still being out there quoting the Bureau of Economic Analysis, saying that we're $1 trillion industry, which for those listening who maybe not know that's a thing, the Bureau of Economic Analysis, which is a government agency.
Analysis.
Yeah, again, inside baseball,
fake.
Nerdy stuff, right? But it says that the outdoors is $1 trillion thing. Now that number includes oil and gas production and theme parks and RVs and boats and everything like that. But it's a really sexy number to throw around. And there are people who really want the outdoor industry to be one thing while convincing themselves it's something else. And I find that very interesting. But in terms of the story of the thing that I really, reflect back on 2025 when it comes to the outdoors, I don't want to talk about tariffs on DearGearAbby.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say,
thank you from all of us.
Plus, Owen Comerford's not here to really explain it to us. So I'm going to say the trail running footwear explosion. I think that has to be the answer. It's like everyone finally caught up to a lot of us have known since 1998. And everyone's like, oh, trail running. Yeah. More comfortable than hiking shoes? Oh, and I can wear them around casually too? Oh, that's a thing now. So That's been a huge deal. Many brands have entered the space. There's been new brands. It's been just the product story of 2025. So that's what I would say is probably what I would dub the category or go-to conversation piece of the outdoors for 2025. Besides, beyond bison anyway.
Beyond bison. Is there anything beyond bison? That sounds like the vegetarian, the vegan. Yeah. What is the vegan bison? That's disgusting to even think. I bet it's very gamey.
Probably.
I don't. That's a good one. I feel like trail running. I've been doing it for a while. I was ahead of the curve, I like to think. It's mostly because it hurts my knees less than running on pavement. But yeah, it was a big year for that. Just a question, give me an estimate. How many different trail running shoes did you try out this year?
I tried out by 6 or 7 and had the opportunity to try out in the low teens probably. And some I'm just like, I'm all right.
You're like, no, whatever.
I'm going to take a pass on those because I'm not really a runner anymore, but I still like try them out and I want to try them out. And I'm still a shoe guy at heart more than anything else. So it's fun to try out shoes.
But true.
Man, it's just, every time you turn around, it's another brand that that's coming out with a trail running shoe or an entirely new brand that didn't exist before or that you weren't aware that existed before making a trail running shoe. Everybody's talking about the AI bubble. I think the trail running bubble is going to pop in 2026.
No. People are they're just going to be like, screw this. I'm over it. I don't think so. I feel like during COVID, people were just scratching at the walls to get, figure out what to do with themselves.
Yes,
so you
that
saw
was a big
running
driver here for
explode,
sure.
right? And then outdoor participation exploded. So yeah, I don't know.
But
I think trail running
though?
still has legs, still has little skinny, muscular legs.
It does, I think, but it's still funny because, like I said, and you know this, early adopter. When did Montrail come out? Like the late 90s and Innovate and these trail running brands that came in the early 2000s. And it's kind of been around ever since. And I was working for brands making new trail running shoes in like 2007, 2008. Hoka and all those brands came out 2010. So it's not like anything new. It just found its time, I guess, that it really is now surging forward. So
who needs to wear the trail shoes is maybe those people who are bison petting so they can get away faster.
Right. Exactly.
Try to outrun it.
What about you though? What's your story of the year?
I think, I'll give an honorable mention here. And it's a very new story. Now, my not favorite story of the year is the new faces on next year's America the Beautiful Interagency Pass, what people call the National Parks Pass. But I have to give honorable mention here to painter Jenny McCarthy, not McCarthy.
I thought you wrote Jenny McCarthy, and I'm like, what is going on with Jenny McCarthy?
She's trying to, find a new audience. She's already done TV. She's done anti-vaxxer stuff.
Yeah, so she's RFK standing on her corner, Yeah.
I don't think she would be the one to create the stickers here.
No, I don't think so.
No, but Jenny McCarthy, no H, is selling stickers featuring her original artwork that are specially sized to cover this maybe undesirable non-nature imagery that we are finding on these passes.
It's amazing.
And it is, her artwork is actually quite beautiful. I'm glad from all of this, like all the press she's gotten for this, it led me to her website, which is, by the way, the sageleafstudio.com if you want to get some stickers, or just check out her artwork. But it's beautiful. Like she's got, one of them features a brown bear in Denali. One's got a little pika, in which I can't just say, I have to say it multiple ways.
I understand. They're
so stinking cute. That one's in Rocky Mountain National Park. There's a wolf in front of the Tetons, wolfing. And I cannot promise that any of them are horny and or maintaining a harem of any sort.
They all are.
Yeah, I think we can assume. I think it's safe to assume.
Okay, so I have 2 beefs with the new imagery on the National Parks Pass.
Do you? Is it the 2 men's faces on there?
Yeah, that's one of them. Okay, I think this is not a we are not fans of our current presidential administration on this podcast, and so for any of you who are about to send in the don't bring it about politics, man. No, listen, this is beyond politics. It is objectively horrible, and we are not fans. So the fact of what they're doing and putting. Why is George Washington on there? If anything, put Teddy Roosevelt on there. What does George Washington have to do with national parks?
He has nothing to do with national parks.
Right. And then you got, scowling Trump. Okay, my second beef is
constipated Trump.
Who fucking designed it? Like, I could do a better job in Canva. Give me the 2 images, and I could take Canva and make it a well-executed image of those 2 faces, even if I didn't want to, than what they actually did. It was a total throwaway hack job. So it's like, not only are you doing it, you're doing it poorly, which, by the way, stands up to everything else that happens with this administration. But, oh, my God. So thank you, Jenny McCarty. You are doing the Lord's work. And this is not a religious podcast either, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're doing the Lord's work, Jenny McCarty.
I'm glad you got to rant today, Colin.
I feel good now.
Take a deep breath.
Those clouds got a fist shaking.
All right, cloud fist shaker man, are you all right now?
I'm good. I feel good. I feel ready. It was just bubbling up all day.
Exercise some demons in there.
Yep.
All right. Well, now that you're in a more zen place,
yes.
Why don't you ask me your next question?
Okay. And this is, really what the people want. If they're outdoorsy people, it's all about the stuff, right? Let's just be honest. It's about the stuff. It's about getting the stuff and going and using the stuff. So for my third
wonder of nature, Colin.
Well, that's important too, sort of. So, people, actually, I need to know, what was your favorite gear of the year? Whether that's something new that came out, whether that was a giant packet of goo that you were slurping down,
No,
or just something that you started using this year that you love. What's your favorite new thing that you tried or got?
Ooh, that's a good one. And I guess the name of the podcast is DearGearAbby, so this makes sense. While we're doing this, you have to think of yours because I'm going to ask you. But I'll say mine is going to be a multi-part answer. So first of all, I just actually wrote about this for Treeline Review's Best Outdoor Gear of 2025 roundup, where a bunch of the writers and editors listed their faves. And I wrote about the Lems Switchback Sandal. I love it. So for people who aren't familiar, Lems is a shoe brand that makes I'm
not cutting that out.
They make minimalist barefoot style shoes. I'm going to just talk in a weird voice to enunciate. So the Switchback is a minimalist sandal. It's kind of a cousin. Colin can't stop laughing at that. He loves it when I mess up, by the way. So the Switchback is kind of like a cousin to the Bedrock that people love. It's got a thong style upper, not the Cisco style thong. This is like a flip flop thong. It's kind of light, but surprisingly cushy footbed. It's kind of sculpted a little bit in there. And I think my favorite part is the adjustment system. That's super easy to use. The name is kind of hilarious to me because it's Switchback Slider and it's SLYDER. It's kind of like comic booky to me, but whatever. But I have to say, I've tried a lot of different minimalist sandals, and this has been by far the easiest to use. User error is very low on this one because other ones you have to thread the, ribbons of the ribbons. I'm not. It sounds like I'm wearing ballet flats. I'm not. You have to thread the. Why can't I think of the word?
You have Christmas presents on the brain, I think.
No, I didn't even do presents this year. Anyway, I don't have to thread anything with these shoes, and for that I am grateful. So
listen, I'm sure I'm going to offend a lot of people who listen to this podcast, but I probably already done that in this episode. Anyway.
You definitely did.
Listen, Chaco is the gold standard of sports sandals at this point.
They're not minimalist sandals.
No, not minimalist.
There's nothing minimalist about them.
But if you get it made sense when they came out. But now when you get a pair of Chacos, it literally comes with instructions of how to adjust them. Right?
Straps is the word I was thinking.
Yes. And, for the uninitiated, and frankly, for some of how often do you get a pair of Chacos, you got to remind yourself, how does it slide through? How do you make it happen? It kind of sucks, honestly. I don't want my shoes to come with instructions. No. And the Switchback Slider makes it really simple and easy, and it's a great shoe. Yeah,
and I have to thank you, Colin, because you are the one who actually brought me over to the Lems side, and so now I think I own 4 different pairs of Lems. They are very comfortable on my feet, so big fan. I also, a couple other quick favorites. I switched to using possum socks on the trail. Yes, Z-Packs, which makes a lot of ultralight, tents and backpacks and stuff. They make possum socks. And I bought them on Garage Grown Gear, our friends at GGG. That's right. They sell all sorts of stuff like this. I don't think this is the only possum materialed item on that site. So you might be able to
Wait, so is possum fur a thing? What is this made from
really
possum?
Warm. It's super duper warm. I think they've
So you're not wearing any gingies anymore?
You just want me to say it wrong. I wear a lot of different socks out there. Okay. No, these are my sleeping socks. I'm not hiking in them.
Why do you need sleeping socks?
Because I need to stay warm while I'm sleeping out there.
Well, isn't that what your sleeping bag does?
No, my tootsies get cold, Colin.
Oh my God. I thought you were tough.
You don't even camp. Shut up. All right. Anyway, so there's that. And then I actually also, I love that I'm mentioning our two beloved, two of our favorite
Yeah, we're going to need to charge them more in our next contract here.
Right? Yeah, we're going to add an extra zero next time. But actually, no, this is just something I love. I started using a Gossamer Gear Mariposa pack this year, and I finally get what all of the hype is about. Like, I know so many backpackers who use these, and I was like, okay, they're a good looking pack, whatever. No, it's great. They've got a 60-liter capacity, which is a pretty typical large pack capacity, but it does not feel like a big pack when it's on your back, which I love. You can cinch it down really easy. I love the big ass mesh pocket on the back. I love the big ass pockets on the side. I love the big ass cushiony shoulder straps. I love the big ass hip belt pockets. There's a lot of big ass stuff to
your
love
words
on
are there. Like if you go to the website, does it say big ass?
Yeah, it's just like a trademark and this is our patented big ass pocket.
Somebody should do that.
Somebody should.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think outside of all of the big assedness of it all, I love it also comes with something for your ass, which is a sit pad that is included as part of the frame system. So big fan. I love that Canuck finally released their through bottle, which replaces Smart Wool. Oh, I'm flubbing left and right here.
I might edit that one.
Yeah. I love that Canuck finally released their through bottle, which replaces smart water bottles for a lot of backpackers who love using that. And they're awesome. They fit with Sawyer Squeeze, Platypus, Quick Draw, like any of those threaded water filters. And I'd say finally, this is a little last minute surprise. I just recently started using and like kind of testing out Keen's Seek trail runners. And you were talking earlier about brands that have never done, that this isn't what they're known for, just busting out with trail runners this year.
Yeah.
I am shocked at how much I love them. Like they might be my favorite trail runners.
Wow.
I know. They're like just wide enough that my toes can sit in there without being cramped, but they're not so roomy that they feel like clown shoes, which is an issue. And I love my Ultras. I wear Olympus to backpack in, and I don't mind the clown shoeiness then, but not for running in. They got this like integrated tongue sock liner situation that's really comfortable, keeps the dirt out. The sole is kind of a thick boy, but it still has ground feel to it, which is impressive. And they're pricier than you would expect from Keen. They're, $180 something. But
that's pretty typical in the trail running category these days.
I don't think of Keen as that. Like that's not to me a Keen price point.
Right.
But they say the outsole could last up to 925 miles. Now,
Dang.
I don't know about the upper, right? So that's going to be
that just disintegrates after 100.
You're just strapping it on with those straps you pulled off of your chacos.
Look at that outsole. It's still going.
It's going on its own. Yeah, I mean, it puts it up there, though, in longevity category with Norda, Mount to Coast. And I will say, though, I know the Nordas have Kevlar uppers, so those are maybe meant to last a little longer.
Dyneema uppers.
Dyneema, thank you.
Yeah.
But somebody uses Kevlar, though, like woven Kevlar.
Oh, they might be. Yeah, I think somebody has some Kevlar.
Might be somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I love them. I cannot believe it. I don't know. Yeah, that's me. What about you? I know I've rambled on, so now it's your turn. It's your turn to shine.
It's shoes. I'm always going to go with shoes. I'm a shoe dog. When I worked retail, it's my favorite department to work.
Shoe dog?
Yeah, shoe dog's a thing, man. You're all about the footwear. Shoe dogs, when you work in the shoe floor and you know all about all the shoes on the wall and you know how to fit them and you know how to, and that's your, when you're working retail, you're a shoe dog if you love working the footwear floor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's, I've always called shoes the show. Because, you go into an outdoor store or an athletic store or a run store, whatever it is, and it's like, hey, there's all sorts of interesting, cool things. But where do you gravitate to? You go and you look at that shoe wall.
I go to the clearance racks.
Yeah. I look at the shoes in the clearance racks. No, I just I love shoes. And, I guess, to kind of yes-and what you were saying about Lems, the thing about Lems that is always that, and all the I too have tried a few of their shoes at this point. Their fit is unmatched in my eyes. I think you put them on. I've yet to put a pair of their shoes on that don't make me go, oh my God, that feels good. And they do a great job with the fit. And so the one I want to call out is their shoe called the Trailblazer, which has kind of become a daily driver to me.
Oh.
And in the world of trail runners, It's a little bit more of a light hiker, has kind of a 90s ACG vibe. And I kind of started referring to it as a mountain sneaker because it's not chunky or heavy or roomy and uncomfortable like a traditional light hiker. It fits like a sneaker, but it has kind of a cool outdoor hikey sort of aesthetic to it, which I really, really like.
I love a hikey
and like
aesthetic.
we said, I've tested, about a half dozen different trail runners this year. And for me, the clear winner is being the Norda 002 or the Topo Athletic Terra Venture 4, which is currently my passion in life, of those Topo Athletic Terra Venture 4s. It's like everything I like about an ultra lone peak, but it fits kind of like a Lems does, actually. So the Topo Athletic Terra Venture 4 is a sick shoe. But the Nordas are great. Mount to Coast has been great. Tried those this year. But I tried on the Keens that you're talking about at the running event.
Oh, really?
I wasn't overwhelmed by just slipping them on. They reminded me a lot of the Craft Explorer 2s and just sort of the out-of-the-box feel, but I've not done as much work in them as you have, so maybe I need to give them another look.
Yeah, the Explorer 2s ended up being a little too narrow for me in the end, and I will say these hit all those spots that I love. They're like, they fit my foot perfectly. They're like, foot can hang out in there like a foot wants to hang out. And they are a joy to run in. So we'll see what happens with the midsole over time. I don't know yet. Like this is the thing with longevity on some of these shoes is that you could say that the outsole is like crazy. You can build your upper out of Dyneema or Kevlar or whatever, but the midsole is going to compress at some point, right? So I'm curious to see like when that happens, how it happens, how comfortable these feel. Can I be running in them this time next year?
When feet are hanging out at the feet hangout, do they criticize each other for the odors? I mean, like, what do you think happens at the foot hangout?
What if it's just sniffing like the Elk Erotica and they're just like...
Someone's not wearing merino.
But for them, maybe that's enticing.
That's a good point. Like, the stink, it's like Limburger cheese. It just smells good. It's stinky too.
Wow, I was at a friend's house last night and they were making pizza and my friend Gabe, he must have made like 8 different pizzas and the last pizza he made turned off everybody because it was green olive, which whatever, and blue cheese. And it just you saying Limburger just made me think of this experience I had last night. It was upsetting.
I'm guessing he has something that's proven that that's a good combination, but
I'm
not
into
that.
He was into it. He said it was very creamy. And I quote, I don't need my pizza to be creamy. So I think
I need to hang out with Gabe, though. I mean, I am also a pizza maker guy. So
he has like a whole little outdoor oven situation.
Yeah, like an uni oven kind of deal. Or did he did he build one?
I don't know. No, it's a product. It's a made product.
Yeah.
No, it's delicious. I don't know how it works. Whatever. It's delightful. Except for that pizza. But all right. Well, now that you've got me thinking about stinky cheeses, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
I wish it was about stinky cheeses, but I'm just going to say, look, we're about to round the corner on the year, as we said earlier, a couple days from now, a week, whatever. What are you looking forward to in 2026, just as far as sort of the outdoors? So it could be a trip, it could be an activity, some sort of media, like a movie or something like that, gear, whatever. Like, again, latitude to interpret. What are you looking forward to next year? Or what do you want to happen or wish for? What's your dream?
I'm kind of at this point where consistency is what I'm looking for. Consistent surfing specifically, because that's something I did really well during lockdown and COVID, and got actually kind of proficient at surfing, and then lost it because we basically went back to normal, and I stopped surfing as much as I was. But I've kind of gotten to this point in life, and this is going to sound like really kind of pretentious and terrible, but like I'm more important than seeing anything specifically at this point. Like, it's just the consistency of getting outside and going for hikes and rides and spending time with people. I mean, when I look back on all of I've had a lot of opportunity to see some really amazing things in the outdoors. And if I think about something that was awesome, I'd like, oh, that was an incredible thing to see. But I always reflect on who I was with and like, how did I feel leaving that adventure more than anything else? Aww. And so it's more like, I don't really need to prioritize seeing or doing anything at this point more than just like getting outside consistently and with the people in my life. Like that's
I love that.
Yeah. It's just like, like you give me grief about Yosemite, and you should, and I want to see Yosemite, but it's also like, I'm not also like, oh my God, I haven't been there. Like, I've seen a lot of cool stuff. I'm sure Yosemite will be great when I get there. Right. But it's just like, what's going to get me there, and who am I going to be with, and why am I going? Right.
It's going to be me. We'll bring your whole family if they want, no pressure.
No, they do. They all want to go.
All right. We'll all go together. I'll do do the planning. Okay. We're going to do this.
You doing the planning is huge. Because, like, by the way, if you want to get me camping, plan it out.
All right.
What are we eating? If I don't have to lift a finger, I am there.
Well, I didn't say I wanted to be your, like, at your beck and call.
Halsman used to say that. He's like, I'll cook. I'm like, if you're going to cook, I will camp all week long, buddy.
What are you bringing to the table, Colin?
Dick jokes?
Oh, no.
That's all.
Sigh. All right. Whatever.
What about you, though? Come on. What do you have going on? 2026 it's on the horizon. What are you excited for?
Well, I'm really, really looking forward to finishing this book. I've been working on it for a long time. So that's number one, because then I can have a life again.
And we can start doing more DearGearAbby episodes.
Oh, we can. We can start doing the special episodes. Again, folks, write in DearGearAbby@gmail.com. Tell us what you want us to be doing on the show. Send in more questions. We need some more for 2026. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing that so I can have a life again. And I would say I'm looking forward to running more. I dealt with a knee issue for almost 6 months this year. I think exactly 6 months.
Bursitis.
I forgot you did that. Yep, that was it. The enforcer was enforcing bursitis in my knee, and it sucked. And I did physical therapy. And I cannot believe I'm saying this on the podcast, but maybe it's good for accountability. I am thinking about doing a race next year, which I haven't done in about a year and a half. So
I want you to do a race so I can crew for you, because I don't want to do a race, but I would love to go to your race.
Okay, I'll plan the Yosemite trip. You'll crew for me.
I'm good at that.
This is our friendship exchange for next year.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So remind me I said this when I start complaining about it.
When it's August and we haven't done any of it, then
no, mostly because I'll put it on the books, but I will be complaining like, why did I think I wanted to do this again? But yeah, I'd say I'm also hoping, like when I think about hopes and wishes and dreams, besides world peace, and for all people to be treated with kindness, I would say I'm also interested in seeing how my local mountains, that's the San Gabriels, I want to see how they continue to recover from the Eaton fire earlier this year. Like I will never, ever forget driving home in a panic the night the fire broke out, just to grab some stuff and evacuate, get my cat, and just seeing the flames on the hillside and in a place that I would go every week. And it's, it was sad. It was devastating. It was heartbreaking. The human loss of it is, beyond comprehensible at this point. But I'm really hoping that when we look up to the mountainside, I mean, we've had a pretty dry winter, so I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm really hoping we start seeing some green once some more rains come, some gentle rains. We don't want torrential rains coming down our denuded hillsides. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of hopeful about for next year. And I think nature is resilient. I think back to when I was on the PCT and I was finishing my PCT book, and there were 2 huge fires that broke out on either side of I-15 here in Southern California, which I would call the 15. And it was wild. I got an extension on my book so I could go back when they reopened that area to see, because what I wrote when I was like, you can hang out under the shaded pine trees, they don't exist anymore. But it was interesting to see how quickly parts of the landscape rebounded. You could see all of the little animal trails with, all of the foliage gone. But it was interesting to see how quickly some of that green came back. And I remember seeing like a little wildflower, and I started crying. I was like, this is exactly what I needed to see. If this is not a metaphor for life and the resilience of nature and humans to get through hard shit, I don't know what is.
Yeah, we got to remember, I mean, the fire's a natural thing, and it's our own fault that we're dealing with some of these problems because we suppressed for so long. Yeah. And then it is amazing, we think the timeline feels long because our lives are really short in the scale of, the way the earth works. But it's pretty short. I remember I was mountain biking up near Big Bear a couple of years ago, and I was going through a burn, and you could see so much growth that had come back. And then it had only been a few years when I looked to see when the fire had gone through. It had not been that long. And so I think it's going to be, it'll be interesting to track. I think, if you continue to live in the same place and look up at the hillsides from what it was before to seeing it like a year ago to when it starts to really green up again. I think it's going to be probably faster than you think,
I think you're right. Yeah. You're making me think of a conversation I had yesterday. I was interviewing a geologist, and he was saying that he's worked in the same place for 20 years. And so he's gotten to see geology change over that 20 years.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, he both said it's constantly changing. Glaciers are constantly moving, rock is constantly falling and fracturing and everything. But it was interesting hearing his perspectives on like being present for it and going to the same spot every year and looking at this glacier. And, anyway, I think nature has a lot to teach us in 2026 and beyond. Gotta end on a philosophical note. Well, that's it for this episode of Gear Abby. Until next time, send your burning questions about your relationships with outdoor products, people, places, and pastimes over to DearGearAbby@gmail.com, and I'm going to do my best to answer them or find someone else who can. And of course, head over to your podcast listening service of choice and subscribe, rate, and review to support the pod and make my day. And follow us on Instagram at DearAbbyPod. Promise I will start posting again. I've been a little lax lately. In the meantime, today's episode was produced by David Karstad and this guy, Colin True. Art direction was provided by Sarah Gensert. I'm Shantae Salabert, and remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice.